Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia. We are outside, it's a beautiful day, and we are talking about the 2020 Kia Sorento. This is the EX V6 model. It's probably the model I would buy because I'm a huge fan of sunroofs, and this has got the class-leading sunroof. So we're gonna talk all about this car. We're gonna do a full walk around. We're gonna start at the front, we're gonna work our way to the back, we're gonna work our way through the seats into the driver's seat. We're gonna talk about the technology. So if you're looking forward to learning about this vehicle, this is your video. Let's go take a look. All right, we'll start at the front of the car, and there's a lot of styling details we can talk about, but big thing I want to talk about, the V6 model has an 8-speed transmission now. So when this body style first came out, it had a 6-speed transmission. So same engine, but now we're dealing with an 8-speed automatic transmission, which just makes drivability better. It's better all the way around. A lot of our cars are moving to wider gear ratios between first gear and the highway gears, and that's what this vehicle has. So big thing to notice, if you looked at the Sorento in the past, the newer models have that 8-speed transmission. A couple little styling details out the front here. Different grille than it was in the before. You've got projector beam high beams and projector beam low beams and projector beam fog lights. This particular model has the beepers front and rear, so that means it has little sensors front and rear, so when you're approaching something, it'll beep progressively quicker as you approach that. A solid beep means you're really close, and you can also see some of those things in the dash as you're driving. It'll show you a visual representation of how close you are to something. So styling is nice and clean. Big thing when this car came out, we talked a lot about high strength steel, and I think sometimes we forget to talk about that. When this came out, in 2016, I believe it was the class leader, and in fact it won best SUV $35,000 and over, which really placed this car sort of above its class, and a lot of that had to do with that high strength steel. Kia is really good about high strength steel, and what that means is less vibrations as time gets older, great for safety. Basically, the bigger thing is Kia can get that high strength steel at less cost than many of its competitors because it owns the entire process, the mines, the shipping, everything. So what that means is that this car really feels like a luxury vehicle, and that's what we feel, that's what we hear from our customers when they hop in the car, is that the luxury feel of it all, the way the door is shut, the way it drives, the way it's firm but still controlled on the road. That's why you get that luxury feel. A lot of that's to do with the high strength steel. All right, there's the front end. We're going to take a look at the side, go to the back. We're going to talk about the trunk because there's a lot to show you there, and we'll work our way through. So a few little styling details you'll notice along the front. If you're looking carefully, you won't see it from your video, but those front vents are actually real. They send air through here, which lowers the turbulence, lowers the amount of wind disruption, and that helps with fuel economy, helps with wind noise. Speaking of wind noise, the EX all-wheel drive also has a sound deadening windshield, so a little bit better sound deadening windshield, so that's the trim level that sort of steps it up. I really like the EX V6 model for 2020 because it's a lot like the SX models from previous years, and we're going to show you that as we work our way through the model. This one is the all-wheel drive model, Dynamax all-wheel drive. It's a fantastic all-wheel drive system made by Magna, or co-made by Magna International, which of course is a Canadian company. It is made for snow. That's what you really need to know about it. You can see how it works in the dash. We've done other videos on that, but this system is really made for snow. You'll see the mirrors are folded in right now. If the car is locked, you can set the mirrors up to automatically fold in. And on a little bit wider vehicle, it's not a small crossover, it's a mid-size crossover. Having them fold in gives you a little bit extra space, maybe in the garage or if you're in a parking spot. As soon as you lock the doors, they fold in. You'll notice the LED signal lights on the mirrors. One thing I really like up here, really long roof racks. Like, we're talking really long roof racks. So I'm a kayaker, a camper, and if you're gonna have a roof rack on a car, you might as well make it long. You can spread the bars wider, especially for something like a kayak. You can always bring them close if you need them closer for bicycles. So you've got really aerodynamic, but also very long roof racks up here. I think that's a big selling feature, a lot like a minivan, but again, better styling, all-wheel drive. So, moving in through here, you've got chrome door handles, those nice alloy wheels, and along the back end, you've got a number of features which I'm going to show you right now. So the first thing I'm going to show you with the back end of the vehicle is our smart key and smart trunk system, smart tailgate system. I'm not going to touch the car. I'm not going to wave my foot underneath the bumper. I've just got the smart key in my pocket. I'm going to approach the vehicle like this. You'll hear it beeping, lights are blinking, and without touching it, the trunk opens. Now it gives you a little bit of time to walk away if you've activated it by accident. There's a whole bunch of features to this car. We've done other videos on it, on this system, excuse me. We've done other videos on it. It's not going to activate accidentally for you. If you lock your car and walk into the grocery store, the trunk won't open for you. You don't have to use this system, but if you do want to use it, here's why it's better than our competitors. If I need the trunk opened, and I'm, let's say, Canadian winter, standing on snow and ice, I don't want to wave my foot underneath like a lot of my competitors. Maybe I'm holding a baby. Maybe I'm holding some precious cargo. I want to be able to approach it, stand back, let it open, and put my cargo in. Now you'll notice as we open that, this is the 7-passenger model. So we've got 2 captain's chairs, a row of seats in the middle row, which is a 40-20-40 split, so you can throw your hockey sticks down the middle if you wanted to. And then you've got 2 seats in the back here. I've got one up and I've got one down. When it's down, you have a nice level floor. You also have some underfloor storage right here. And if you take a look at this picture here, you'll see that our blind, our little cargo cover, fits underneath the floor. You're not leaving that in your garage, or if you head out to IKEA and you decide to pick something up that's bigger than you thought, you can just throw that underneath the floor. Super good system. And of course, when it's down, you pull up the extra seats here and you've got lots of space there. You do have a 12-volt port over to the side here. You can fold the seats down with handles over here, and you've got a cargo net tie down at the back here if you need it, so you can have a cargo net along the back. You've also got vents for your extra passengers back here. So a really practical vehicle. These seats in the back, are they the biggest seats in the world? No, they're not. But they will fit an adult for short trips. They'll be comfortable. If you're going to go across the country, you may want to consider something like the Sedona, but certainly to get people around town, to get people on shorter trips, up to an hour or so, you can fit adults back here and kids, of course, for sure. Now let's check out the middle row, and we'll talk a little bit about how that creates space for this back row as well. Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I love to do this. I love to come up to the back seat and hop in, but I can't. And the reason I can't is because you can create a ton of cargo space with these rear row seats. Of course, that's as far forward as it goes. I can slide it back like this, and I can tilt it back. So let me just hop in for a second. You can see, easy to get in with my legs. My seat is further back than I would need it to drive. Right here, if I have the maximum cargo space, of course it's not comfortable, but I can recline this all the way back here. I'm fully out of sight. And when I do that, what I do is I look at my beautiful panoramic sunroof. Now, a lot of panoramic sunroofs would sort of stop here, maybe above my head. They wouldn't go back behind me. And that's what this panoramic roof does. It goes right from the front, just behind the sort of map lights and the visors there. It goes all the way back behind my head. Now, I'm about 6 feet tall. Sometimes sunroofs steal some headroom. I've got plenty of headroom between the side here and, of course, where the sunroof is, there's more. If you don't want to look through that sunroof, if you decide that you don't want all that glass space, you've got a full sunshade that closes there as well. So let's talk things. First of all, this seat comes back as far as it can go, and that's the way it's set right now. So I don't have a ton of knee room, but I have enough. I've got a lot of foot room here, good height to the seat cushion here, so I've got some space. I'm gonna put the seat a little bit further back. Down here, USB port. On the other side, I have a 12-volt port, and in the center, I have a standard plug. So whatever devices you need to charge, you can do that. I don't know if I mentioned these are plastic, but this plastic backing is great for kids. It's easy to clean, easy to wipe. You've got the cargo nets here in front of me here, and same thing on the passenger side. On the door, you're going to notice that there are heated seats in the rear. So the seat bottoms here on the outside seating positions are heated. So you can take your guests and they can be comfortable in any kind of weather, any kind of temperature. Bottle holders in the door. There is an armrest here with cup holders here, and the thing with our armrests, they don't just flop down to the seat. They meet you where your elbow is. So you've got a nice soft padded area on this elbow, on the other elbow on the door, another nice soft padded area. Really well finished back here, perforated leather. We can show you that in a second when we get to the front seat. But a very, very nice place to be. And of course, if you need to throw people in the back seat, works just like a two-door car. The seat slides forward and tilts, and you can climb in the back. Let's sit in the driver's seat now and check out all the technology. All right, driver's seat. So when I started the video off, I said that this kind of feels a lot like the SX model for previous versions. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull forward on my powered seat, because like I mentioned, that seat was back further. When I started the car, it would have pulled it up forward, but I'm not starting the car right now. In my powered seat controls, I can move forward, back, I can tilt it. I also can adjust the lumbar up, down, left, right, so forward and back. So picture right behind my back, it can go forward. It can also move up and down on my back. So you can put it exactly where you want it for different drivers. The big thing I love when you're talking about different drivers is there's a button right here as well that extends the front of the seat or shrinks it down. So I don't know if you can see that in the video. I'll try to show you right here. It shrinks down or extends out. So whether you have a shorter driver or a taller driver, this is a system that will work for you as far as creating a comfortable seating position. The other thing you have, of course, tilt and telescopic steering. Now, it doesn't look like a lot in the video, but it actually makes a big difference for how close and how far away it is. You know, so again, fitting different sized people. It's actually very close to me right now. I'll move it a little further away, and I like it's close. All right, in the dash of this car, You've got a center display screen. Now again, that used to be only in the SX model. That center display screen has all kinds of information. You can watch how your four-wheel drive system works. You can see fuel economy. You can see drive modes, all kinds of things. Speaking of drive mode, you've got 4. Let me get them right in order. I'm going to start the car up properly. Seats moving back to where it was. I should mention about the seat, you do also have memory seats. So those memory seats, two drivers can set the memory seats to where they want to. Just hit number 1 or number 2 on the door here with those buttons, and you can set it where you want. Now, drive modes. I have got Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. I'm gonna be really honest with you. With this new Smart drive mode, I'm not even sure why you would want Comfort. So what they did is the Eco mode is fantastic. If you're driving fuel efficiently anyways, the Eco mode will work with you. What some people found is sometimes they want to drive efficiently in the Eco mode, but they're getting on the highway, they want to give a little extra gas, and it hesitates to downshift. It waits, it tries to fight that downshift, and it's just fighting for economy. So if you want to make sure that it works with you to help you get great economy, the Eco mode's great. What we had from our customers from feedback is that sometimes when they really want to give it and they're in the Eco mode, it would just delay, and then go full throttle. That's where the Smart mode kicks in. The Smart mode gives you all the advantages of Eco, so it drives the car in Eco if you're driving efficiently, but if you start punching it and get on the highway or to pass somebody on a country road, the Smart mode will kick it up to even into the Sport mode. So when I tell people to test drive in this car, I tell them to drive in the Smart mode. You almost never have to change it out. Nobody wants to drive in Sport the whole time. It becomes real touchy on the gas pedal and gets real punchy in the way it holds revs and that kind of thing, which is fun. If you're towing a trailer, that might be a good mode to use as well. But the Smart mode is the brilliant mode that just blends everything. So this car, 4 drive modes again: Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. If you're driving it for the first time, try it in Smart mode. You'll be happy with that. All right, moving across, we have another screen here. So this screen here is a part of our stereo system, of course, AM, FM stereo, but you also get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which means you get navigation through your cell phone right up here. And of course, you don't have to use a lot of data for those things. So a lot of people worry about their data usage for something like mapping. Not a big deal, you don't use a lot. If you're not brushing up against your map or your data right now, most people find they never brush up against their data just using it for maps. Not a high data issue, but that does bring texting, calling, all kinds of things to this system. So of course, when you get in with your phone, if you're not going any long distance, you just want to drop your phone in, you can drop it down here in the center area. It does have wireless charging, so you can just let it sit there. You'll still have your Bluetooth calling, your Bluetooth music, all that kind of thing. But if you want to hook up the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you plug it into the USB port in the center there. It brings data up to here, and of course, then you are legal to drive. You can voice text. It becomes a much safer way to communicate, and of course, that gives you navigation up here. Great system here. Scrolling down a little further, climate system, dual zone climate control system, which means you can set the temperature differently on the left side and the right side, and you've got both people are comfortable, works like a charm. You've also got heated seats. So I mentioned the rear heated seats. There were 2 levels of seat heating in the bottom of the seat bottoms. This has 3 levels of seat heating in the bottoms and the backs, of course. That's what you would expect up front. And you have a steering wheel heater. So this nice leather wrapped steering wheel feels great in your hands, good thickness. It stays warm, and a lot of people talk, okay, that's a nice feature to have. It's actually a really important feature to have when you have touchscreens in the car, because you don't want to wear gloves in the winter. You want to just keep your hands nice and warm, and trust me, the heated steering wheel, it's one of those features you'll never go back from once you've gotten used to it. Scrolling down a little further, you've got the gear shift here. That gear shift is connected to that 8-speed transmission, and again, if you're towing a trailer, you can pop it into a manual mode and shift gears up or down on your own. Now I keep saying if you're towing a trailer, that's because this model can tow 5,000 pounds. And if you're looking for a Sorento to tow a trailer that's a little heavier in weight, this is the year to buy it. We know that next year's model is likely going to come with only 4-cylinder options. It will not likely be able to tow 5,000 pounds with a 4-cylinder engine. So if you're looking to tow 7 passengers, 5,000 pound towing capacity, an 8-speed transmission that you can choose your own gears if you need to, this is the car to tow with. It's pre-wired for trailer wiring. We've got a hitch that you can throw on it. Really set up well that way. Scrolling across, you've got nice wood grain trim into the door trim. Of course, it's not real wood, but it looks very real. It comes right into the doors, feels very luxurious. This model has LED lighting in the car, so that's the bright white LED lighting. Looks really, really sharp. And again, that panoramic sunroof, not only is it a lot of glass, the opening area of this is full width and very long. So you've got a big open air feeling, almost convertible-like. And that's why I said I really love the sunroof on this. We're gonna wrap this video up for you now. So in closing, thank you for staying with me to the very end. We are not a review channel, we are a dealership, and that means that this vehicle and all the other vehicles like Sorentos of every trim level are right here in stock, which means that when you have a question, I can answer it for you. I can go out and check the car myself. I can do another video for you. So let me know in the comments below if there's another trim line you want to know about, if there's a feature that maybe I mentioned or touched on, or maybe I didn't touch on that you want to know more about. I'd love to make more videos for you. I just need to know what you want me to talk about. And if you're watching to the end, give me a little thumbs up if you want me to do more, even if you have nothing to say. That'll let me know that we're doing well and we'll keep going with it. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day.